Audi. And I was like, damn, this event's going to be a dud. I had it all planned out, too, and it's just a banging event.
We got to talk about the origins of Peace and Play Day, too. That's a crazy one. Like, how he created
We
that.
did it. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah, because I
There's
mean,
jokes behind that, too, why we did it.
We can't talk about that.
well, whatever you can talk about,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear it. But
Oh, man.
every time somebody asks what the block, and I can only give my my testimony on what I've seen you guys do, and from what I recall, our conversations and everything like that. So every time I bring you guys up, I say, one of the big Kickstarter events you guys started with was 4 blocks in 4 weeks, and immediately people are like, "What? What did they do? That's amazing!"
Really?
And honestly, like it's one of those. Oh yeah, another nonprofit. Oh, what do they do? They feed the homeless,
and people ask, what do you do? A lot of times you want to answer with, we clean streets, we clean parks, we stop the violence events, we give stuff out for school bag drives. But that's not what we do. What we do is we get, people to help themselves. We get people to go out there and solve the issues themselves or work towards a solution to whatever that issue may be by doing street cleanings, by doing park cleanings, by holding stop the violence events.
And it kind of works as just lead, motivating them to lead. I would say,
exactly.
Because that's what we did when we went to Lincoln's career day.
Yeah,
is that what
exactly.
it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't there for our jobs. We were there for the block. We were only like 2 years in, and we're just there telling kids, not teaching them to or suggesting to them, like, hey, get with your friends and be leaders. Do big things. We just told them our story. They loved it. They were coming over to us, and they were hanging out. And I think that's a main one of what we do is, like, just being trying to motivate the idea to lead.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So I, speaking with the Costellos on a previous podcast.
Jack Costello Boxing Gym.
Yeah, very great people.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. And, hearing them talk, we actually talk about how their gym is a nonprofit and how I believe it's Ken was saying, I mean, if you guys haven't heard it, go listen. He says no, humongous big boxers are going to come out of that gym.
No.
Because what they're trying to do is instill certain principles in all these kids.
Right.
And they're teaching them morals and ethics.
It's bigger than boxing.
Exactly.
It's so much bigger than boxing.
And it's one of those things where it's like this nonprofit we're not trying to be famous. We're not trying to, obviously you want as much attention as you can just for the support.
Yeah, it just helps
aspect,
the organization.
But
exactly.
not because you personally want to be famous.
It's not for, personal gratification or anything.
And it's one of those things where we were talking about with the gym, you got those gyms who you pay your gym dues, but if you're in trouble in school or if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, they don't give a crap as long as you're paying your dues and you're showing up to train.
And even if they don't pay their dues, we had they've sent kids out to volunteer with us, and then bang, they were clear of their dues.
Yeah.
So they're holding true to the statement,
Right.
like we want to create leaders, responsible people. So they're showing them that if you work towards something else, it'll pay for whatever it is that needs to be paid for. And we had a Stop the Violence event a couple years ago where we wanted to support the boxing gym. We got some questions like, why are you promoting nonviolence but supporting, a fighting club? Well, it's not a fighting club. They're growing young men and young women into productive citizens. That's the point we see on the, coming out of the boxing gym.
To piggyback off that, most of people in combat sports are some of the most humble people.
Oh, exactly.
Because they know what discipline is.
Right.
They have an out.
Yeah, that's the main word, the discipline.
They have an out where if they have some frustration, they're working it out in the gym.
Exactly.
So they're not walking around with a chip on your shoulder trying to fight the next person because you box.
Exactly. Keem touched on it, the healthy alternative. That's one thing we were promoting today is, alternative actions to fighting.
Just living realistically, you got to know that some people are going to get mad. Some people behave differently than you will. Some people will react to these situations differently. So something can happen where a person can just quick run, grab a gun, and go do something about it, or it's just like, all right, we can handle this differently, or just to consider before you get into a fight, you can also just say, like, I know what I'm capable of. I know that there's a gym that has my back, and also says to bring the person you have a confrontation with to the gym.
I was going to bring that up. I was exactly going to bring that up. Brian Costello, he's one of the guys that lead the gym. He told us, that one of the kids came to him and said, there's a kid at school. He keeps bullying me. He keeps messing with me. I'm going to fight him in school. And he said, no, you tell that kid to come to this gym and put the gloves on. You fight in the ring. Kid never messed with him again. So, they're just right there. They stopped any altercation that may or may not have happened.
And they just taught a lot of character. It kind of just goes to show, like, this is, when people react or behave a certain way, their intentions are different when they know what you stand for, when they know your value, when they know what you are about. Because just the idea that this person will say, like, okay, you can come over here, we'll do it the right way, and they're like, whoa, this changes the whole perspective, and people would have never thought to have that type of perspective.
Yeah, I always tell, you always have conversations with certain people, and especially nowadays with social media and people being bullied and bullies,
Mm-hmm.
it's like one thing my dad always taught me growing up was, I don't care how big the person is, if they bully you, you give them the hardest time in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because they
I
were...
met your dad today.
Yeah, most of the time. I mean...
Did I meet your dad today?
Yeah. He was wearing the same tank I was wearing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep, blended in.
Yeah.
But, what was it? It's just one of those things you have... most of the time, people are all bark, no bite.
Right.
100%, yeah.
So the minute you
100%.
step to them and you kind of call their bluff,
Mm-hmm.
just like you said, oh, I got a place where we can settle this real quick. And all of a sudden, I don't know, I don't want to back, and they back down, and just teaching kids certain things like that. It's like
that's a big deal.
Yeah. So
I learned character is who you are when nobody's watching, and that's kind of like one of them situations. Like somebody was watching, you showed your true character. Now that we offered you an opportunity to handle it, in a respectable way, and obviously when these people back down, all bark no bite. You're not,
sure.
You're just out here undisciplined, and I think that's what the gym trains.
So to go back to
Screw the gym. No, I'm playing. they got their own podcast. This is our podcast.
Right.
Dan.
Yeah, back to us.
Hey, screw you,
X
Brian.
the shiny suits.
I hope you're listening.
so back to how Peace and Play got started.
Oh man. So we did it, right? We did it. What was it called? The Block Bowl. The greatest name and the greatest logo scheme you'll ever think of, bro. We worked on delivering how we're going to go about doing this, putting it out to the parks. And
Flag football tournament.
There's still some flyers around, right?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, there's still some flyers at, I forgot what that party because I'm counting Torresdale.
That was for the basketball tournament.
I was the year
the
after.
Block
There
Bowl.
might still be some flyers around.
Yeah,
the Block Bowl never happened. It was supposed to be this great flag football tournament. We could not get nearly enough players. So then maybe a day before, 8 days before.
It was a week.
Yeah.
Exactly a week.
This dude
the Block Bowl,
through.
you look it up. ESPN The Ocho did a 30 for 30 on it before. The event, the
Everyone
greatest
was
event
there,
that
bro.
never happened.
Chingy, Julius Irving,
Yo,
they were all playing.
You guys do this thing where you say things like that, and
people take us seriously.
There's no sarcasm in it, or there's no sense of sarcasm
Sincerity,
at all.
bro.
That there's sometimes where you guys say stuff, and I legit have to second guess what it is you guys are saying because I'm.
Hey,
like,
it sounded true, right?
Like, wait, what?
The Ocho
They what?
did a 30 for 30.
It's just
greatest event that never happened.
It's such a ridiculous notion that you said 30 for 30 on ESPN for a block.
What's the title?
It's hilarious.
We're gonna transpire into that podcast. It's like, no. But yeah, the Block Bowl, the that never happened. It turned into Piece of Play Day. That's the bottom line. He came into the meeting before that.
We needed. We were gonna do this flag football tournament. People were gonna pay to be on teams. It was gonna be great. They were gonna get free food, free drinks. Just a great day of action. Fun games. Nobody signed up. Not a single person. Not a single.
What?
And I don't know.
Yo, I still
we suck at running flag football tournaments.
Yeah, I still get memories on Facebook, like me promoting, like sign up now, or date extended for registration.
That's a horror movie.
That's been going on for like a month of posts.
Just haunting you.
Sucks so bad.
Is it because you guys just didn't get any hits, or what was the reason behind
lack
it?
of knowledge, lack of people caring. I don't know.
That's why we haven't done it again. Just put it that way. With trial and error, we learned that the Block Gives Back is great at a lot of things. Flag football tournaments, not one of them. Yeah. Don't look for the Block Gives Back to do a tournament anytime soon, to be honest.
It's funny that you're mentioning that because I distinctly remember the flag football tournament.
Yeah, it sucked. Yo, we couldn't get referees. I tried to get my
God,
brother.
they were like
$3,000.
Yeah,
tried to get an old gym teacher to do it. Nah, nobody wanted to do it.
Oh, man. That's upsetting.
And I just came in and was like, you know what? Screw it.
And
we're just going to play games all day.
Yeah.
And that's where Peace and Play came from.
Yeah. Like, the way it is now, honestly, what he created in a week, it's not far from that. It works great, and people have an incredible time. It didn't need to be a flag football tournament, because that was also, mind you, the Block Bowl was going to be a non-violence event. That was kind of like the alternative. That was the reference. Okay. That didn't work, so we switched it this way. Boom, call up Jack Costello. They pull up in the Lamborghini with the Dubs. Remember, just like the John I pulled up in episode 6. That's a reference.
With the 20,
the 28.
Yeah,
28.
They touch on it. They touch on it on the 30 for 30 a lot more.
Yeah, you'll see it when it comes out next week on the 7th. Anyway,
so
the Peace and Play Day has been born, and we did it for 3 years, and it's great. We have awesome shirts that come in coral, purple, and red.
So, and black.
Yeah, that's a tank top.
That's tank top. Yeah, that was.
Come on, we got to be specific around here.
But there's a system to how the shirts come out. If you wanted a purple shirt for free, you got it last year if you volunteered.
Oh.
If you want a red shirt for free,
what I gotta do?
You come out this year for free.
Say what?
To volunteer.
Okay.
Next year,
come out for free too.
Next year, if you want a clear shirt.
Clear shirt.
It's going to be platinum. We're going to be like Nick Cannon, level up.
If you want a platinum
it'll be like
Peace and Play Day shirt, right. What do you got to come out and do?
You got to perform and do a cartwheel.
Or volunteer.
That too.
Either
or volunteer, do a cartwheel.
Either or's going to do it.
I'll give you a shirt if you do a cartwheel.
Yeah.
Hey, not a cartwheel.
Clear shirt. It'll be just plastic steaming. It'll be steaming like.
It's gonna be saran wrap. Just wrap people in saran wrap.
We did that. We saran wrap.
So going forward.
Yeah, we did.
So this is the third year for Peace and Play.
30 for 30.
So going forward, what do you guys plan on adding more events, or is it just kind of? What's the word I'm looking for?
You want to know what we really want to do?
Smoothing out the
John,
rough
we want
edges
to add a bouncy house to this thing.
Yeah,
they won't allow us to add a bouncy house.
Once we get the bouncy house, we're done.
Yes, this is. Please look. If
like,
anyone
all right,
listening,
hold on. Are you guys being serious, or are you guys?
No, it's 100%.
Because I don't.
100% true. You want to pay the insurance for it?
Started.
How much is the
next year? I don't know. Probably a lot.
Too much.
1,000.
Seriously, for a bouncy house?
Probably.
Seriously,
that sounds ridiculous, dude. I just passed a block party.
Yeah.
After leaving, and there was a bouncy house in the middle of the street.
Yeah, but if you're at the park, at the playground, and we're bouncing, a little June bug pops out of the bouncy house, breaks his leg. They're gonna shoot. They're gonna sue the playground. Parks.
Seriously, they will sue, and we don't want any lawsuits.
Parks and Rec doesn't want any of that smoke. They don't have good lawyers.
What would happen if? What if you just sign up? You're ridiculous. What if you guys just sign up a little waiver form?
Doesn't work that way.
No?
That doesn't hold up in it needs to get notarized. You got a notarizer?
My mom's a notary.
She has to bring her notarizer machine to Peace and Play Day. We gotta get every little June bug's pen
on the side notarized.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, man. It's bad though.
So all jokes aside, that's like the bouncy house is seriously.
Yeah, yo, imagine what 4 blocks in 4 blocks in 4 weeks would be with a bouncy house, and the Peace and Play Day would be with a bouncy house. All these different events with a but just the insurance. But if we can get the people who even donate, we're offering to donate.
But you said with the block, it's as far as being on a block. But that's also
liability on us too. You know,
red tape.
We don't. You know, we do have a if the shit hits the fan fund.
what if we just had an anonymous person bring out an anonymous owner of a bouncy house?
We can't talk about that.
And just have a sign that says "Play at your own risk."
That sounds good.
What if little Junebug can't read?
Oh,
That sounds like his problem. His or her problem.
It's America's
My
problem.
son can't read. Gets all stressed out about it.
He's 4.
Is he working on it?
He's 5. Yeah, he knows his numbers, but he doesn't know his ABCs.
He's already won half the battle. Yeah, half of, dude, you know how many adults
I feel like numbers are more important anyway.
Maybe.
I never thought of that.
I think you definitely have to read numbers or at least know them.
I worked with a guy who couldn't write.
But think about it. We don't know Braille. Like, do other people think about us as